Hi, everyone. Welcome to another DPI Presents. We want to talk today about how do we make the holidays more inclusive for our team members. One of the ways is to make sure that we're not making alcohol the center of our celebrations. Many times our holiday parties will be focused around all of the cocktails and alcohol, but there could be some that are on our team that do not drink. And so you want to make sure that there are different beverages that they can have that don't include alcohol. Also, make sure that when you are serving alcohol, again, that it's not the center of the celebration. There are those that have struggled with alcohol in the past, or maybe alcohol is a trigger from someone who had an addiction in their childhood. So just be considerate of that. Also, as you're planning your holiday parties, it's already that time of the year. I want you to think about what is on your menu. You can have people on your team who may or may not have disclosed what their food and dietary restrictions are. So when you are building that menu, when your admins or your virtual assistants or whoever it is has the power to choose the menu and choose what will be served, think about all the different people that might be represented. Again, some of them might not have disclosed what their dietary restrictions are. So whether they are vegan, whether they are glucose free, I'm gluten free, excuse me. Maybe they have anything in regards to glucose. So make sure that there are sugary desserts as well as non-sugary desserts. But just all the different menu restrictions, just kind of keep that into consideration when you're building your holiday parties. The other thing I wanted to talk about today is the crisis that is happening among our American workforce. And this is in regards to caregiving. AARP came out with phenomenal different reports that talk about caregiving and the crisis that it is. And when I'm talking about caregiving, I'm not talking about parents, but I am talking about those adults that are caring for an adult. All right. So those on your team that are caring for an adult. Normally we think about this in regards to maybe Generation X, maybe baby boomers, but this goes all the way to Generation Z, as well as our millennial work team members as well. So all different generations are impacted by caregiving for an adult. So I want you to listen to some of these statistics. 1 in 6 Americans balance work and caregiving. 53 million Americans are currently caring for an adult. I bet they could be on your workforce. 6 out of 10 of those 53 million Americans, 6 out of 10 are women. So think outside of just your internal workforce. Also think about your vendors, your suppliers, your customers, your clients. They are impacted by these numbers as well. 80% of those that are caring for an adult admit that it impacts their productivity at work. And these are some of the statistics from AARP. It is a crisis. And so one way that we can really help with employee retention, employee productivity is to think about creating a caregiver-friendly workforce. Now, because this is often seen as a secret second job, and it's often very much a lot of shame is with it if they have to miss work for different appointments. So it might be hard to even figure out where these people are in your workforce. And one of the ways that you can do that is just do an anonymous survey and ask specifically about questions in regards to caregivers and if someone on your team is caring for an adult. As business owners, like I said, this is a secret second job for many. And so the average person is spending almost 24 hours of those 53 million Americans, 24 hours a week just on caregiving tasks. And so I want to give you a list of what are some of these tasks that they are doing. So caregiving tasks could be driving a loved one to a doctor's appointment. That's what many of us think about. But there's also the shopping, the housekeeping, the administering of medicine. There are many on our team that will have to go to help someone be able to lay out their medicines for the week. It could be preparing meals, running errands. So not only are they impacted in regards to their productivity, but also their finances. On average, $7,000 a year is paid out for those that are caring for an adult. Now, As we think about smaller size businesses, micro businesses, the way that this is really impacting us and it has more of a burden on those that are small business owners is the fact that we have fewer staff. Many of our staff will have overlapping jobs. And so if there's an impact on productivity, you will immediately feel it, and it will impact the way that you are showing up for your clients as well as your customers. So here's the good news. Caregivers provide incredible value in the workplace. When you think about a caregiver, there are so many transferable skills. They are able to juggle multiple things at one time. They are very loyal. They normally have a system and will be considered more organized. And this is what you need in your workforces. So when you think about building a caregiver friendly workplace, what exactly does that mean? Well, you might want to think about people having the ability. So here are some solutions. Flexible schedules. If they are able to get work done on their own time, this will not apply to all businesses. That is one of the ways to retain this type of employee. Educate your managers or those that are on the front lines on what it means to be a caregiver. If this is not your lived experience, it's hard for you to understand all that it takes to be a caregiver. Consider a compressed work schedule. So maybe they're able to work Monday through Thursday and have one day off during the week so that they're able to take them to all these different doctor's appointments, their loved ones that they might have. Consider leave of absence or a sabbatical when things are very dicey in regards to a medical situation. Maybe a sabbatical is in order, especially if someone is a veteran employee that has been there for a long period of time and you know that they are just struggling and need to be able to be there to support their loved one, maybe even in their last days. Plan educational events, destigmatize. They should not be in your workplace and feel any type of shame. So if you have educational events that you can do, resources that you can provide them to, in our link below, we will give all of the information where you can go on the AARP website, because they definitely have great resources for those that are trying to build a caregiver-friendly workplace. Think about cross-training. When there's a lot of overlapping jobs, you want to make sure that there's more than one person that holds information. So definitely allow that culture to be there, to be able to cross-train. And then counseling and support services. Maybe they need a mental health day off because there is this extra burden that they have on them. I hope that this is very helpful. I hope it helps destigmatize the shame and sometimes the vulnerability that people will feel when they are caregiving, especially for a loved one. Again, especially for our younger generation, that could be a millennial, even Gen Z, with COVID and RSV and all the different things that are impacting our society. It has a direct impact on our precious, valuable team members. So until next time, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful evening, or have a wonderful afternoon. Be well.